Hi guys, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV, and this is my review of Arsenal's 2-1 victory over Everton this evening. Now, it wasn't the easiest of games. I really thought after going 2-0 up through the likes of Olivier Giroud and Laurent Koscielny most notably, we would go on to win this game by potentially 3 or 4 goals to nil. But in that second half, Everton really made us work for those 3 points. And in the end, to come away with a 2-1 win against what is a very good Everton side, despite losing 3-0 to Manchester United last weekend at Goodison. Roberto Martinez has certainly got a good assembly of players at his disposal. Like I say, they made us work for the 3 points. And to get a victory against this side really does put us in a good position. In fact, it puts us at the top of the table, at least until the Manchester derby tomorrow. So it's a great position to be in this Saturday night. Thoroughly looking forward to match of the day this evening and seeing us at the top of the Premier League standings. But we can't take anything for granted at the moment. We are still very early on in the season, but to get all these wins under our belt at the moment, it's been a fantastic week for us. Of course, we had the win against Watford, the win against Bayern Munich, now this win against Everton, 3 very reputable clubs, and we've come away with 3 wins on the bounce, and having conceded just 1 goal really does show a resolute defence and a very attacking team. We looked really good today, both defensively and going forward. We had it's just one thing that I really liked about today's game is the fact that we were able to not so drastically change the team, but the way we were able to manipulate our front lineup, it just shows that we've got so many different contrasting players, so many players for different situations. Like we brought in Giroud today to cope with the likes of Jagielka and Stones, almost said Jones there, but he really did cope well and really did cause a threat for the whole game. And what I liked about Olivier Giroud's performance, arguably putting a man of the match display today, but I think Ozil just edged him on that one. Giroud really did put himself about, and one thing that I've criticised him of in the past is he's a player that, for his size, goes over very easily. He's a player that will dwell on something if it doesn't quite go his way, and he'll sit on the ground for ages. But today he really did work hard. He tracked back really well, put in a couple of good tackles, made himself a real threat on the pitch, and he certainly made himself noticeable throughout that Everton defence. I thought he had an excellent performance today, alongside the likes of Chamberlain and Alexis Sanchez. It was a rather quiet game for Alexis Sanchez. The bloke really does look quite knackered at times, and I'm hoping in that game against Sheffield Wednesday next week he will get somewhat of a rest, and he'll be fresh as a daisy for the game against Swansea at the Liberty Stadium, which is somewhere where we don't have a very good record, but I'll leave that one up for the preview. Now, we started with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. No Theo Walcott in the Arsenal starting 11 today, which was a bit of a shame in some ways. I was hoping he'd keep up his good form, but it was a chance for Chamberlain to prove himself given the absence of Aaron Ramsey from the Arsenal side. And in that first half, Chamberlain had a out of sorts, I think you could say, kind of performance. He really did try and make the spectacular kind of happen, trying too hard to be the difference maker in the game, but he wasn't able to do that as such. He looked really dangerous whenever he does go forward, but lacking a final product. His decision making was poor. He had really good overlaps from the likes of Bellerin, wasn't playing him in, and overall a very out of sorts first half from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Second half, though, really did improve himself. Thought he looked great going forward defensively, put a shift in, and I really do hope he does improve his defensive game, because it did come into question a little bit when we did concede the goal that we did later on in that second half. But the defence was very resolute. We saw Gabriel come in for Per Mertesacker, and I do feel it's a bit hard on us to have conceded in this game, because Gabriel and Koscielny were rocks at the back and our fullbacks were superb. Yet again, Monreal had a fantastic, resolute performance. Bellerin looked outstanding going forward once again. We've got a great defence at the moment, and Petr Cech between the sticks. The sheer fact that Chelsea let us have him for 11 million, and we're, 11 points above Chelsea now, as well as that, he is keeping a lot of clean sheets for us. He hasn't done today, but he's won us, at times won us 3 points today. He was outstanding yet again. He won us the game against Bayern Munich, and he's proving to be one of the signings of the summer and a world-class stopper for Arsenal. It's great to have so much confidence in your goalkeeper when the ball gets beyond the defence. He's an absolutely outstanding purchase, and I'm so glad that we've got a player of his calibre between the sticks for Arsenal. It's been a long time since we've had a keeper of his class between the sticks and putting in world-class performances on a regular basis. But getting into the game itself, first half, well, not the first half, but the first opening 5 minutes was a little bit shady for Arsenal. Not the best. It was a little bit a very open game. Both sides having good chances on their respective goals, but Arsenal were the first to break through fairly late on in the second half. It was a game that we had to be patient in. We really did have to press this Everton defence. We had some fairly good chances, but our most notable one came through, of course, that man Olivier Giroud, who was played in by Mesut Ozil, who's now got 7 assists in 9 Premier League matches, which is astonishing for a player of his quality. I'm really pleased that Ozil is finally starting to come into a bit of form. Man of the match for me today, Ozil put himself about here, there and everywhere, put in quite a good defensive performance as well. And it's great at times that he's dropping a little bit deeper and providing assists to other assist makers. It's a great position to be in with Mesut Ozil. And I'm really glad that he's becoming the player that we all know he's capable of being. And he plays in Olivier Giroud. Giroud with a lovely delicate header, past Tim Howard into the back of the net to make it 1-0. Really pleased for Giroud to get that. He must have a really good goal tally for us this season. He's getting a lot of goals even when he isn't starting games. And this goal was shortly followed up by Laurent Koscielny. Again, it's a set piece that we've scored from. We did it in the game against Bayern Munich. We've done it here today. Santi Cazorla with a lovely, delicately whipped free kick into the box. Koscielny gets his head on it. Really good header by Koscielny. 2-0 up within the space of about 5 minutes. And what I'm really liking about this Arsenal team now is that we're setting the tone for games in a matter of minutes. We're going on and scoring, hit 1, 2, 3 goals in a space of about 10 minutes, and we did that once again today. But unfortunately, it wasn't the easy ride that I thought it would be when Everton got a goal back through Ross Barkley. It was on that right-hand side of the pitch where I think a lot of teams are starting to expose us a bit, especially when we do play someone like Chamberlain, who does lack the tendency to track back. Ross Barkley, I think it was us that gave away possession when we were on the attack. We gave it away. It was a very good counter-attack by Everton first and foremost, but Ross Barkley picks up the ball on the left-hand side of the pitch, predominantly attacks our right side, and there was just a failure to close him down. He got his shot away, comes off Gabriel's foot. It might have been going in, I'm not too sure. It might count as an own goal for Gabriel, but Cech couldn't get to it, completely off balance, into the back of net, 2-1, and it's game on at that point. Going into the second half, I was expecting Arsenal to really go at this Everton side and get the second goal, which we needed to really stop giving Everton a lifeline, but we didn't do that. We sat back quite a bit. We played very deeply, similar to how we did against Bayern, tried to catch Everton on the counter, but it wasn't really a situation where we needed to do that as such. Everton have got some very decent players in their squad, and the likes of De La Feu, who made a shocking dive in this game as well. That's something that should be pointed out. Lukaku, etc. going forward, and Aaron Lennon. They had a lot of pace going forward, and one big front man in Romelu Lukaku, and he got a very good chance on goal towards the latter stages of the game when it hit the crossbar. But Giroud also had a chance to make it 3-1, as did Mesut Ozil, both players hitting the woodwork at times. But we've come away with a 2-1 win, a fantastic victory for us, and albeit the second half performance wasn't the best, the 3 points is what matters most, and you can kind of understand that Arsenal were a bit fatigued in that second half of the game, given how we played against Bayern and given the game against Watford. We've now got an opportunity against Sheffield Wednesday to rest a few key players, the likes of Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil, but I do hope we take that game seriously. It's important that we progress as far as possible in the Capital One Cup, and hopefully we'll get that win on Tuesday night against Sheffield Wednesday. But this has been a fantastic win for us. It puts us at the top of the league standings, at least until tomorrow anyway, but it's a great position to be in for Arsenal. We're winning a lot of games at will now, and hopefully this confidence will continue within the team, and it's generally just really good watching Arsenal, and we're playing some fantastic football. We're getting a lot of wins, and it really does look like we could do something special this season. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts on this game in the comments box below. Let me know what you thought of the match. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV, and as always, we'll be speaking to you soon.